So
All right, we're live, guys. So you can actually start the show whenever. We can just talk about football. No, we're live.
This is 2OF Entertainment.
Yeah, I found that if we start the show and not tell anybody, we do that on ad hoc. I get all the good stuff before the intro. So I let them
hello
talk
everyone.
for 5. Hey, we let them talk for 5 minutes, and then we start the show.
How are you
I
doing?
think that
Stephen,
the
I
live-
see. Stephen, I see
the
you're
live
very
button.
very happy. I don't know.
I'm
Is
happy
it because
always.
of Trump?
No, I'm not. I'm not. I may not be a fan, but I'm definitely not a fan of what that gentleman tried to do.
I think
No.
nobody is. In
Yeah.
fact,
Well,
although I
I'm
think,
assuming
although
there's
I
a lot of
think.
people that are.
Oh yeah,
So,
that's what I wanted to say. That deep down inside, they might not say it. Although some people say it openly.
yeah,
That
I'm not a fan of that.
half a
I'm a fan.
job or something like that.
Yeah, I'm very much a
Mm.
fan of you. We have a democratic process, as screwed up as it is. Let it take its course. You don't. That's uncalled for.
But
I don't
look
know.
now. David is
Yeah,
not happy for other reason because England
because he
didn't
can't
win
get
the
goals.
Euro yesterday.
Yeah. So when we say we're going to talk
Yeah,
about like goals today, life goals, are we talking about
Yeah, we
football
have
clubs that
live
couldn't
goals.
score enough goals
Well, for
to
goals.
some
make it to
people,
the next level of the Euro Cup?
well,
Well,
look for some.
we could talk about the life goal of the particular gentleman who tried to assassinate Trump, because
Probably not.
within
We don't know enough.
what
We we don't know enough,
within
and we should top
within
and then
minutes of
topic.
it happening,
Yeah,
the X was full. I think like 4.5 million times it had been trending staged, because everybody thought that the thing had all been put together, all been staged. So,
I will tell you
and
that when I did
the woke people are all about it being a conspiracy, all done by the CIA. So
Yeah,
of
but
course.
those people usually are against people who do conspiracy theories, and suddenly they create a conspiracy theory.
Okay.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't
Well,
know.
I think
For me, it
it's
sounds like a little because he was shot there. But of course, they say he wasn't shot. He went down, and somebody, cut him, and I don't know. I don't
yeah.
know if.
Well, maybe it's some people's life goal then to go viral on social media,
Oh
and
yeah,
this has been a great weekend for them. Let's leave that.
yeah, but
Something in the middle.
it's not actually because wanting to become famous and rich is something. It's not actually a life goal. It's a tool to another life goal, which probably
Right.
is to have not problem with survival and to have money and to be liked by people because many people want to be famous so that the other people like them, respect them, they feel somehow higher up, when they are famous. And but I have to tell you this about um, I was thinking about doing the show about being famous, because I
Well, that's
kind
some
of touched
people's
it
goal.
for some time.
Well, because
And
you are famous, is that why you
You're
wanted to do
famous.
it?
well, I am
You're
famous,
famous, so
but
you
I'm
can do
not
that.
that famous as I was before. And fortunately,
Ooh,
because everything comes with a price.
Right.
And when you have almost every day like a proposition for interview, and then you look
Right.
at the questions that are almost identical, so you have to almost say the same with different words and something like that. And then there is a lot of scams who are wanting to buy something but they don't want to buy, or propositions for exhibitions which you pay everything and
Right.
you
Right.
gain nothing, like that. They gain everything because they get your exposure, they share your exposure,
Right.
etc. And there is a psychological price you also pay for this. If you're a guy like I'm a shy guy actually. each time almost, when I come here, you see me smoking a lot. I don't smoke so much. I smoke
Right.
like when we have a show,
Mhm.
half of the cigarettes I smoke in a day, I smoke it in 1 hour that we have here because of my stress, and and I
What's
cannot
stress?
control. I don't know. It's stress of exposure,
You just have clothes on. You're not exposing yourself.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
You
saying things that may
Yeah,
be
we
used
started
against
off.
me afterwards. Sometimes.
Yeah,
Here's the best part of
well,
our
we
show.
started off
We only
really
have
gently. We started off really gently with you, Adam. Do you remember? Because we interviewed you first, and then you
Yeah,
said, "Yeah,
I know.
I'd like to come back." And we said, "Okay, it's great,
right,
come back."
When I know that many people are watching, I always have
right,
comment. At least at the
Yeah.
beginning.
right,
I don't know. I have it. It's because I tell you, I'm a shy guy. Maybe it's a psychological thing that
right.
comes from the childhood, of course, like most of them. That I don't like to be judged so much. I don't like to be judged, but I post artworks. Well,
Right.
I don't mind being judged by my artworks. I really want it, to be honest,
Right.
because if it's an honest and good judgment, because I like critique, because if it's fruitful and not positive. I mean, it's constructive.
No, well, that's the
It
definition
makes you
of
better. It
criticism.
makes you better. So, for example,
Yeah.
coming back to the topic, one of my goal, and many people, I guess, is to become better. But I start with the thing that become better person, better human. This
Okay.
is because it will influence the rest also. I want to become better artist, which is kind of abstract in a way, because what does it mean actually? But we understand more what it means to become better person. I mean, to
Well,
have more empathy.
I'll roll you back to what you said about you didn't want to take so many interviews because people kept saying the same thing. There's a lot of actors who obviously they want to see the questions up front, and they will just say anything that I've had to answer before. I won't take that interview. But when people offer you really interesting things to say up front, say okay, that's worth it because it
I
also gives you
I
an
prefer it.
opportunity
I
to really,
prefer this way, not
yeah,
to no. But they send me. They always send me.
yeah.
Because I
You
say,
say, well, okay, well,
will you
they,
have an
you
interview?
said,
That's okay. Let's have an interview. Okay, I'll send
Nice.
you the questions. Because sometimes they are also, they were, it's not anymore there were a lot of art sites, like magazines, online
yeah.
magazines.
Mhm.
And this is not happening so much. They don't have so much popularity anymore like it used to be. Now it's more social media and stuff like TikTok
Or our show.
or podcasts
Mhm.
like this. Yeah, this is not
But you
actually a
know what?
podcast.
I'm going
It's
to tell you what one of my life goals here. We're going to pay a
yeah,
bill.
yeah,
Is to
yeah.
get this. Is to get
Oh yeah.
SoundPerts Space. The SoundPerts Space is a phenomenal headset, and I think they just left. And I'm not going to see it now for 2 weeks because they took it with them on a trip. So it's noise canceling, which now I don't need because the family's not here. But you can make phone calls, listen to music. It's better, I think, than Beats and whatever. The link is below. And on the 16th and 17th, during the Amazon Prime special, whatever crap, I think it goes on sale. So if you're looking for a pair of headsets, I would recommend them. And we'll pay a bill with a 20-second commercial, and then we're going to be back to talk about more of goals. Other than everybody should goal to be getting a pair of those headsets. Like that little segue. SoundPeach Space. Hybrid active noise cancellation headphones. Wireless Bluetooth. 123 hours of playtime. High-res audio. The best headphones out there. That's it. I like those headsets. One day I'm going to actually get to wear them on air. So we'll see.
When they come back,
When
if they come back
yeah.
safe,
If they
they're not
come back in
left
one
behind
piece.
somewhere, or
Right.
Yeah.
or if somebody
I'll-
steals them because they know it's
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Exactly.
Now they know
exactly.
it's
We're
good.
just
Sure,
we're just
people watch
making
our show.
promo for people to go and steal them when they can. So
Don't tell
There
to
you
the
go.
people where your folks went for holidays.
I'm not telling them. I'll just give them the address below. Anyway, so no, but I think goals are interesting. Howard K. Smith once did back in the 60s. As a kid, he did ABC News.
But
And
who?
he and Harry K. Smith was a news anchorman with Harry
Okay.
Reason. And he did his commentary one night and he talked about goals. And he says, I think goals make you live longer. So this morning when I said, what are we going to talk about? And you said goals, I was walking the dog and I was like, interesting goal. Like, so what are, like, I'm thinking about what my goals were when I was a child. And then as I've
Yeah,
gotten older,
yeah. I
what my
think
goals
goals
are.
have
So
are different
they
in
change.
our
Yeah.
stages of lives. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So, but I
goals are
think
really difficult because if you know, or I could just refer to England's very poor goal scoring in the Euro final yesterday.
No, they
We
were
didn't.
very. I think that they tried their best. They have very good
they
players,
suck.
They did.
but
Spain.
Spain was
Congratulations
better.
to
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Congratulations to Spain, and I say that heartedly because they were truly remarkable and
Yeah, it's a
incredibly
very good
entertaining.
team, and they
Yeah,
have very brilliant, very young football
yeah,
players, which are at the top level. You know, the
yeah.
Yamal,
Who could
Williams, who
score
scored a goal.
Could score
Yeah,
goals? Yeah. So we're back to
yeah,
goals
yeah,
again.
yeah. And
Congratulations.
and it's strange because now we said about live goals, and look, for example, the 17-year-old,
Right.
he has live goals, but he's already achieved so much at this age. So
Yeah,
he now, I'm guessing, he's aiming his life goes towards totally the top. I mean, world top, like
yeah.
to beat
Messi.
Ronaldo, Messi, all of the guys, to become the best ever.
Right.
So this is a life goal for him, and he will probably work on it. I guess
Yeah.
it's a
I
factory
hope.
now.
Yeah.
And as I said,
Okay.
like when you're famous and stuff, if there's a prize, he's going to pay a big price. Also, another Spanish guy, an athlete, won the Wimbledon.
Yeah. So it's been
He
all
he's also
Spanish
very
weekend.
young. He's also very young, Alcaraz.
Yeah.
I like sports. I'm happy for the Olympics are coming. I'm gonna watch. I was watching the Euro,
Well,
and
my one of my goals about the Olympics is to find a TV station where I don't have to pay to watch it because it always used to be free and now it's all pay per view. It would appear that a certain Discovery Channel, who belong to somebody else, I think now, whatever, they seem to have buttoned down everything. So the last time we tried to watch the Olympics in Japan, Tokyo Olympics, virtually everything was locked down. Or you had to buy a subscription to what you had to buy a subscription to watch each individual sport for some of the things as
oh
well.
my God, really?
Yeah,
We
That's
don't
it's
crazy.
have
supposed to.
this in Greece. We have
No,
the public
we
TV, which
yeah
shows all the.
we do as well in Holland, but they are restricted as well. But we saw an advert yesterday for Belgian TV, and they look like they're going to be able to show a lot more. So yeah,
Yeah,
so
but those are not live goals. Those are goals for the week, for the month. It's
well,
That's
it's
David's
free
life
life.
goal to watch the
different goal.
Olympics. That's his life goal.
No,
His life goal is to watch the
I
Olympics.
think no, but they are actually goals because somebody's goal working for these huge media companies is to button down, all the viewing rights, the media rights, so that everybody comes to their channel. That's their goal. That's their mission as a company. Whereas I think the things that there are a few, okay, some sports I can understand it, but these once every 4 years Olympic games, they should be free to view.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And
You
it
got the,
started from Greece, and it's kind of a sacred games because all the wars stopped during the Olympics in Greece, in
Yeah,
ancient Greeks,
yeah,
and they also tried to do it to impose it also here. But I remember in 2008 it was when it was in China, and a
yeah.
war started at time with Georgia, and Georgia attacked the part of the that Russia is
Russia was
kind of
attacking.
occupying, and there was a war during the Olympics. The day the Olympics started, and that was like kind of violation of this, peace.
Was it 1938 that famous Olympics with where
1932.
was
36
was,
maybe.
I thought
was
it was
that the one
32 with Jesse Owens.
with
1932.
Jesse Owens?
Jesse Owens and Hitler. Yeah,
1932.
that was
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
That's
And
that's
I
really
know crazy, but if you watch it, it is amazing piece of cinematography. The
Yes.
the way that the Nazis filmed everything, I mean, sort of reached its apex, I think, with the Olympics. And then a lot of stuff
But,
of course
you know,
got
at that
I'm
time,
sorry, I take that back. It was 1936. So the Berlin Olympics, just the only
36.
American
It was
athlete.
36
Yeah, is
because 33 the Nazi was not on power yet. I think
yeah
33.
I was slightly uncomfortable about him saying that, but there you go. I'm continuously wrong, so that's not really
that's why I
It's
always
okay.
double check everything. Yeah, so 1936, and Jesse Owens massacred, if you will, in the Olympics the Nazis,
Yeah,
and Hitler was furious. And it's like
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
And he wasn't
And,
mad.
and
It was an American. He was mad. It was. I read.
man of color.
He was mad. He was mad. It was a black guy. He was like, how
Yes.
can this less of a person? He's like, do this. How
an
can he be
animal.
like
An
the Nazis?
animal.
Yeah, basically. So it'd be like a Jew doing the same thing, and it was
Yeah.
sort of like I think at that point he was like livid. I don't know what happened to the athletes that they beat. I'm sure they went to the Western Front, but yeah, he was mad that it was. I don't
No,
think
they
he was mad.
continue
It was
to
like
they
Americans
continue
or something
to
else.
compete, the German athletes, because he was sort of virtually taken out of that, and they competed after that. They weren't punished for it because it was considered to be some trick or something, which because Hitler left
Right.
before the prizes were given out and the medals were given out for that
I'm
for the
sure he
100
did.
for the 100 meters. So
Yeah.
not a very good photo opportunity for him.
No, I remember watching I've seen the movie reels on it, and it's just phenomenal
Yeah.
to watch Jesse Owens do what he did.
Yeah.
And the guy with the mustache was an idiot, so it doesn't really matter. But I think we were talking about goals. His goal was world domination.
Yeah.
And the extermination of a race, which is kind of like that's I'm okay for world domination. It's the extermination of a race that kind of bothers me. I have a problem with that one. I'm like, that's okay if you want to take over the world, like Pinky in the Brain, but getting rid of a race of people, I have a real issue with that one. That's kind of a problem. So,
yeah, but he wasn't particularly that picky, though, was he? Because it was, gypsies as well. He didn't like them pretty much.
you don't like anybody.
Gays, anybody that was mentally indeficient, anything that didn't fit the sort of the area.
Well, one of his generals supposedly was bisexual. Hermann Goering, right? He was bisexual.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah,
and of course, Braun. Was it Braun, the one that he
Eva Braun?
the one that he ended? No. It was another one of the guys that really helped him get to power.
Right.
I think he didn't survive the Night of the Long Knives, but he was into pseudo-masochism in the gay scene. So there was a lot of it happening everywhere.
That's my point, though. It's very interesting that his goal was, I'm going to take over the world, and then I'm going to get rid of the groups I don't like. So it's an interesting goal, and then everybody that worked for him was part of the groups he didn't like, which I thought was very interesting. It's kind of it's kind of like that's a strange goal there, Mr. Hitler. But sure, let's go with that. So he talked out of both sides of his tuchus, as we say. But goals are interesting. I mean, I have goals, but I have goals broken down into like my professional life and my personal life. And then I just,
But
and then
originally, of course, Stephen, his goal was to be a painter.
But he failed.
Which he failed.
Yeah, unfortunately,
he failed.
The world will be different now.
Yeah, that's an interesting.
But would it be? Here's the interesting thing: would the world be better? I'm forgetting the atrocities of that war.
Yeah.
Would the world be better or worse if it wasn't for the war?
Well, I think that we don't know actually. But look, it's not the only massacres that happened actually, and it's not the worst.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in numbers.
No,
I mean, I think that Mao did worse things, or Stalin even. But we have not documented that much.
But the Germans are very efficient at documenting everything. That's the thing.
Germany at that time was the America of this time. It was a superpower, and technologically also, and America was rising at that time, rising power. Germany was,
according to an historian, Thomas D. Snyder, stated that Stalin deliberately killed about 9 million people. Just so you're clear. Just so we're going to who killed everybody. So Stalin killed 9 million.
That was his goal, then.
That was his goal. Mao is the winner, if I may.
Mao,
they estimate that Mao killed somewhere between 40 and 80 million.
My God,
starvation.
What about
population of Germany right now?
Yeah.
What about
it
Pol
looks worse.
Pot though? He did his bit.
Who did?
There's not Pol Pot in
Yes,
Cambodia.
this one also one of the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Mao still wins.
Well, I wouldn't call it winning, but
I'm not saying, like, we're not giving you a gold medal
winning
for massacre.
with his life goals,
Yeah,
probably.
but that might well have
Yeah.
been his life goal to destroy everything or anyone that stood in
Yeah.
his way.
Maybe.
They're not. I mean, we always think about all life goals are all positive things,
Right.
but they may be for a lot of people very dark goals that they want to achieve. The annihilation of anything or anyone that stands in my way.
Yeah, but from his point of view, it's not negative. It's he's trying to save the world
Yeah.
from the black Jews and everybody.
Yeah.
Like
Well, if you think about it,
cleaning
the
the
life goals.
population or something.
But if
Crazy
you think
idea,
about
of course.
Yeah. But if you think about goals, though, think of it this way: my goal, for whatever my goal may be great for me, but may be bad for everybody else. And that's what
Yep.
you know what I'm saying. So it's the same with, like, if you look at Hitler, you look at Mao, if you look at Stalin, you can look at Napoleon type of thing. If you look at their goals, right, their goal was to take over the planet. That's great
Yeah.
for them, and maybe great for their inner circle, and maybe not good for everybody else. So I think when someone says they have a goal, that's awesome. But I also think, you have to kind of hear what the goal is to determine if it's good, bad, or indifferent. And I think a lot of people don't look at it that way. It's like, oh, good, you have a goal. Yeah, what's your goal?
Yeah. Well, of course,
Getting a PhD, yay. Getting,
early
taking
Christian church had a goal. That was to turn
Okay,
every
so
Christian.
let's take it to the now time that we live. For example, Trump.
Sure. Yeah.
What are his life goals? Okay, he became president once. Now he wants to become second time. For what?
Oh,
What he wants
well,
to
they're
do?
going to make him into at
what's
the
his goal?
convention this week. At the convention this week, they're going to make him into a demigod because he's because.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think they will because he's just he feels it's divine intervention that saved his life, and
I read about it, but God saved him.
Worms.
God saved him. He said,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But he didn't save the other guy.
The other
But
guy
how-
got shot
how-
6 times. The other guy, they literally shot 7 or 8 times. Like, you can hear. I saw the video because CNN replayed it 9,000 times. So he's talking and you hear pop pop, and you see him duck, and then the next thing you hear is 7 or 8 more shots.
Yeah, but is that not the sniper being shot?
Right, it is
On
the
the roof.
sniper being shot from the Secret Service, and there was a guy on Instagram that actually had the video of the guy, the sniper on the roof. He's like, "Oh, look, there's a sniper on the roof." Like So this is it's very interesting. We do live in a society. I'm not comparing this to Kennedy's assassination, but we do live in a society now where back in the day, like when Kennedy was shot, there's there's 3 cameras, right? A couple of people had cameras, and there was the television. Now, with everyone's phone, everyone has a camera, and everyone's recording the speech from the front, from the back, from the side. But they have more. If you're the FBI or the Secret Service, you have more video footage, for lack of a better term, of this guy shooting at Mr. Trump than you've had when Reagan was shot or this one was shot. You've got, like, I just say there's 5,000 people there. I don't know how many there. Just say 5,000. There's you'll say half of them, 2,500 people have got their phone out. And when they shot, even the people behind them were ducking, but they're holding their phone. So,
well, if you look at that footage, you'll see a guy right at the front with a white T-shirt on, and he's still standing there while it's all going down, filming.
Oh, really?
And behind him is a woman, and she's like doing this with her phone. Because Annette and I were watching it in the net, said, well, surely if somebody's shooting and all these bullets are coming over the top, you're not going to be standing there filming it. But it would appear that their life goal was then to get that
famous.
ultimate, that ultimate footage. Like
That's
the
crazy.
Kennedy footage. You remember everybody, that's
The Sapruta, I'm going to pronounce his name. The Sapruta film is what you're talking about when Kennedy got shot.
Yes.
But that's what's so interesting about today. Right. But that's what's so interesting about today. When goals back in the day were like, I want to, do better at my job. I want to do better at school. The goals were like, I want to make my family, I take them on a trip, whatever it might be, right? Goals today are like, I want to be famous on TikTok. I want to be famous on Instagram. I want to be famous on YouTube. People's goals are much different. Like my goal is it's very like low key. My goals, like, to build the channel, of course, but it's not like if we don't build it, I'm not going to be, it's like, it is what it is. But I mean, I have other goals outside of this, like everybody else. But a lot of people, this is their goal, is to be an internet star. And I'm like, really? That's your goal? That's not like a sustainable goal, though. In my opinion, it's not, unless
I agree.
you're very lucky,
That's why it's not your goal anymore.
right?
It's
Because it's
somebody
not just.
else.
I think it's a fun. Listen, this is fun. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy building the channel with you guys, and I enjoy our dialogues. But it's not we're going to make hundreds of millions of dollars doing this. If it happens, that's great. If it doesn't, still good with it. Like I have other goals and things that I do. I mean, the goal they said to David, like our next goal is to get to 1 million subscribers. We're at, over a little over 100,000. Okay. So really my next goal is to get us to 150. And then from 150, get us to 200. Then from 200, go to 2. Like these little goals. Yeah. And I'm good with that. And
Expansion,
right.
so that you have more people to watch
Right.
what you're
So,
talking about,
Well, no,
and engage more
I think
people into it. Yeah.
we hope.
we do our very best to be as on as a few shows as possible these days, because we would like to build a channel, and ideally, my next goal is to have some working capital. Somebody who said, okay, we're interested in what you're doing, not that they would ever be able to pay you enough money that you could walk away and buy a super yacht, but just to say, hey, look, we're interested in what you're doing. Here's some working capital. What can you do with it? We say, yeah, well, we could do a lot more shows. We do this. We could do that. We could maybe employ a full-time presenter. There, or whatever per show.
That's
whatever,
David's
right?
goal. David's pandering right now to the investment banking firms that are writing checks to all the YouTube channels because they don't know where else to put their money right now. And
Well,
which actually, if you think about it, and you are a media type company, this is the next. I mean this is a good or bad thing. This is the next wasteland that people haven't tapped into yet. Now, some of the YouTubers are getting deals with Amazon, and they're getting deals with Netflix or HBO or whatever, or Showtime or whoever. But if you're a venture capital group and you're like, with a few $1 million, you could buy a channel and you could grow that into like a mega channel, because it doesn't take that much. But the difference is, I think, where people fall short and with their goal when they're on YouTube is that they want to be the celebrity. They want to be, look at so-and-so, how wonderful they are. Where we're more like, we just want the channel to be the celebrity and, everybody else be famous. We're good with that. So the goal for the channel is for the channel to be famous, not us. So like for you, Adam, to be famous, and for everybody that does all the other shows to be famous. That's what we want. So our goals are much different than most people's goals when it comes to
I think that everybody has a different goal. Even if we say the same thing, like, oh, I want to be famous. There are different reasons that somebody wants to be famous. And what Warhol was saying, that everybody in the future will be famous for 15 minutes.
15 minutes, yeah.
He was really right
now,
about
especially,
that.
Well, with cell phones, everybody's famous for 50. Everybody can put one video up there and be famous.
When you become famous, your next goal is to stay famous, because it's easy to be forgotten very, very fast, And but those people have a different reason, because being famous, like I said before, it's a sign of that people respect you, that you have a bigger audience where you speak. Money can come from it, of course, which is a survival tool. But sometimes, those things, when you become, for example, too famous or stuff, then the ego explodes and everything gets out of control. And that becomes a problem. And you can see it in a history of famous people that some people cannot deal with it. They have a problem to deal with it. Some commit suicide. We know those people, or they live their lives. You remember Amy Winehouse, for example. She was because she's one of those younger generation artists that kind of kind of her behavior led to her death in a way,
Oh,
because she was
Kurt
drinking, taking
Cobain.
drugs and stuff.
Kurt Cobain too.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's another
Cobain,
one.
of course. And
Freddie
look,
Prinze.
those
The irony
Freddie
of
Prinze
Amy
as well.
Winehouse, of course, is it was the coming off the drugs that killed her, because she did that like she had a slower process that she should have gone through. So she was accelerating coming off, being a serious heroin user, and that eventually killed her. So yeah, drugs on, drugs off. It's
What are you, the Karate Kid? Drugs
Yeah.
on, drugs off.
drugs on.
So
Yeah.
some people's goal is to get off drugs. There you go. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Goals are a funny thing because they're so different and they're so vast. If someone says my goal is X, whatever X is, you can never fault them
Well,
for that
Elon
being
Musk
their
said
goal.
that. He said his goal was X.
Yeah, whatever. So, but I mean, you can't fault anybody for their goal, how ludicrous it is or whatever, because that's their personal goal. And you can't really say to someone, that's the dumbest goal I've ever heard of. For them, it's not. For them, it's like, that's the goal. So.
Look, we often, criticize other people for many things that we don't understand. When we criticize, for example, Hitler, that we criticize for a good person because he wanted to exterminate many people.
Right.
I mean, we cannot accept this. We have to start like being, as I said, like being good people. I mean, respecting other people, respecting their opinions and everything. But if the goals turn against other people, then you have a goal to stop this guy, for example. That's why look. Let's think about the guy who tried to kill Trump, and he's dead now. It was his life goal because that's the last thing he did. And try to imagine him, because his subjectivity, his point of view, what made him to do such a thing? A young guy, 20 years old.
Yeah.
What was in his mind to say? I'm guessing that he was saying, "Oh, this guy is going to destroy the world," and he was sure about it. To do such a thing, he was kind of. I need to get him out of the way. And look now, the outcome of the elections and everything will be totally different if it was 2 centimeters to the left or to the right. If he finally killed him.
2 centimeters to the right would have been.
What would happen if he? What would happen? Let's say there is a parallel universe in which Trump is dead.
Okay.
In what situation will we be standing right now today?
I think the U.S. would be on the verge of civil war, and the Republicans would have to bring in someone extremely charismatic. And I don't know if the Republican Party has another. They've all drank the Kool-Aid, and I don't know if they have another person that has the magnetism, if you will, of a Trump. So I don't know what would happen. I think a lot of them would think, if God forbid that actually did happen, that it was, whether the conspiracy theories are, whatever it is, I think you'd start seeing a lot more violence. And I'm thinking the only smart thing that came out of this whole thing, I was reading all the articles yesterday and today, they were all, Biden and Trump were both saying, like, let's just calm down. Like, let's for Mr. Trump, it's like, you started it. So yeah, let's bring down the rhetoric. Like, and I know the Republican convention starts today.
And I suppose that helps, of course, when you've got a clenched fist and saying to everybody, fight, fight, fight.
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
That's the way to.
So that's when people, when I read the comments that you were talking about, where people say, "Oh, it's a conspiracy, it's this and that," I'm thinking to myself, if I'm getting shot at, the last thing I'm doing on a stage is going to go, I'm like, get me the out of here into my little truck that's bulletproof, and let's go.
The first thing he wanted was his shoes.
Yeah, I heard that. Let me get my shoes. I heard that.
Yeah, but then again, psychologists have said, well, in anxiety moments, some small things are very important to you. So,
yeah. Well, maybe. I don't know. Hopefully, God forbid, I never find out about that kind of a moment.
We're talking about wanting to be famous. I mean, the guy who killed, who assassinated then John Lennon, was named Chapman.
Right.
He said he wanted to be just as famous.
Oh, he
as
became, but
as
not
John.
just that,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
we still remember John Lennon. I don't remember his name. I knew that somebody killed him. I don't remember
yeah.
his name.
David,
Chapman, his
the
name.
guy who shot John Lennon, his name was Mark David Chapman. Mark David Chapman
Yeah,
was
Mark
born
David.
in 1955 in Fort Worth, Texas.
Yeah,
He fatally shot John Lennon on December 8th, 1980. He received a 20-year to life sentence and has been repeatedly denied parole. So there you
yeah,
go.
yeah. Because
He's alive. He's still alive.
Mark
he's never,
Chaplin is doing life imprisonment where he's currently serving at the Greenhaven Correctional Facility in New York, Hudson Valley. So, yes, he is still in prison.
still in prison. Yeah, and he's never said that he didn't want to do it. So that's why he's never got parole. But yeah, so that was it. For some strange Masonic reason, he said, "Oh, okay, this is going to make me famous.
That was
This is going to,
his goal,
this
to
is
be
going to,
famous.
yeah, that's going to get me into Wikipedia." And
Right.
yeah, and so
There
he's,
wasn't Wikipedia
he's
back in the 80s, Dave.
no, but it still now, we're still talking about him. So he will be immortal. And maybe that was his goal. My goal is to be immortal. Everyone will remember my name, or at least can Google it.
Well, I think this is
guess.
a strange view on immortality. I mean,
Yeah.
your name, just your name for something you did or you didn't do or something like that. That's not immortality, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't think that anybody.
Well,
I don't think
it
that
is.
Leonardo da Vinci is immortal because we have. No, he's not. He's dead. And also everybody. I
Yeah,
mean,
but
we have a distorted vision of somebody's life because it's a strange thing, the immortality thing.
Here's something interesting then. That probably in your village, they could probably talk about, the mayor of that village 50, maybe 100 years ago. They know his name because he will have done something. It'll be written down somewhere. So that's his immortality. Go and ask the same question. What was the name of his neighbor? Or what was the name of his best friend? And probably no one will know.
But
So
we don't know. We don't know even. Look, let's take who is the most famous guy that is dead, and we can call him immortal. Well, except Jesus, we actually don't know if he existed. So
Right. So yeah, it's not a. So who's the most famous guy that, like, if you mentioned, everybody would know?
yeah, like
that's
Leonardo da
interesting.
Vinci, Michelangelo, Picasso,
You got
Michael
Attila the Hun.
Jackson, for example.
Yeah, you've got Attila the Hun, Genghis Khan. I mean, there's
Yeah.
tons of
What
people.
do we actually know? Or Alexander the Great, who is a big dispute.
Right.
Still, I don't know why.
Right.
With this country, it's called
Macedonia.
Macedonia, that they think that
Cleopatra
it's
as
their
well.
father, for example. And now the Albanians are saying that it's theirs.
Yeah.
So it's a strange. So
Well,
their
it's
life
5,000
goes.
year old fight.
I could agree with Alexander the Great because you can see where he and his soldiers left a trail of children all the way up, right up into Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Because all these blonde.
Yeah. There is a
people with
tribe
blue
there,
eyes.
which is,
Yeah.
and they have there was a film with Sean Connery and another one. I saw it, and it was about something like that, and he was called Iskandar, something like that. That in
Right.
I don't remember the film. It was a very nice film, older film, like 70s or something, 80s.
Right.
It's interesting, of course, because that has made him immortal. But as far
Well,
as
I
we
don't
know,
agree with it.
as far as we know, he was probably either possibly bisexual, but certainly gay. So, yeah.
I think he was gay. I
All
think
the
he was
all
gay.
the books, all the history books on Alexander the Great say he was bisexual.
So that's
talking with guys who are into this and stuff like, they say that there is no bisexual. If you're bisexual, you're actually gay, but you're fighting. Of course, some people now will know. Come on, the identity of being bisexual. Okay, you can call yourself whatever you want. I'm just saying what those people are saying. So I don't know.
I have no idea.
no, maybe,
but I don't agree with the
maybe,
immortality thing because it's a vanity thing, David. It's a vanity thing to think about immortality because your name stays. Like what we know about Alexander Gray, okay, that he conquered all this and he's famous for that. So what?
Well, look, you see
So
it
what?
everywhere. You see it everywhere. You see it certainly in a country like the US, where every library and every other public building
Yeah,
has been built with the money of somebody rich, and it's got the name stuck out the front of it, or
yeah, David, but
or
look, this is
hospitals and
just a myth, because we read about this guy and we reading what he did. We don't know if all of it was true. I mean, okay, he conquered those, but there are some more elements like details that we don't know if they happened. This is becoming a myth, becoming a story,
yeah. But
and
if some people's goal is to leave their legacy, then
Right.
because that
yeah,
legacy,
legacy is more
but
is he left a
but
legacy. He left
but
a legacy.
when does the legacy not turn into you know
Psychopath actions.
being
Psychopathic actions.
being immortal? Because
Right.
as long as that hospital stays there, or let's do something like which I'm really excited about, Dave's Donuts. When Dave's Donuts stores are everywhere, everyone
Right.
will know they're for me, because they'll have my name on that building. Does that not make me immortal? As
That
long
is
as
vanity.
as long
No, that is
That's
vanity
okay,
vanity.
for me. That's
Yeah.
vanity.
okay,
Because look, nature is the wisest thing that exists. It's a God. When they ask me what's your definition of God, and I say, and you cannot dispute this, because it's the total sum of everything as an entity. You cannot dispute it. That's
Right.
God. It's not a guy with a beard. It's not a guy who
Right.
says don't do this, don't do that, and in other religion a little different. And although I think that religions in general, they have common things, but there are religions who say you are immortal anyway, but not in the sense you want to
Right.
stay immortal in the world
But
of mortal people.
but here's what's really
But
funny
it
about
can't happen.
immortality. But here's what's funny about immortality, if you will, if that's your goal. Like if you say I'm flying in, especially in New York, like or in France, I'm flying into De Gaulle Airport or
yeah.
LaGuardia Airport or this. Most of the
John
people.
Lennon Airport in Liverpool.
All right.
There you go.
Okay.
Oh yes.
But my point is that most of the Verrazano Bridge in New York, most people don't know that LaGuardia Airport is named after a mayor. Most people don't know because they just don't give a thought. JFK is named after JFK. You know what I mean? It's like they don't really think about it. They're just sort of like, I'm flying into whatever airport, or I'm going to this stadium, or I'm going to go to the hospital. They don't think of it as the
They are
XYZ
focused too much on
hospital.
their life goals,
Yeah,
on
but
Right.
there.
Like they have their own things to do. So it's very nice that people donate buildings and money and blah, 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 blah. But nobody cares. Like if Elon Musk
but they
colonizes
cared.
Mars and they turn Mars into Muskland, thousands of years from now, no one's going to care
My
because
point
he'll be
is,
long
Stephen,
forgotten.
And
my
after
point is,
some
Stephen,
time,
is that they cared. They wanted that immortality.
I guess.
But
I just
for
don't
them,
get it.
their name is in a book. Their name is on a
Mm.
ledger somewhere. The name is on a building.
Right.
And their neighbors isn't, or the guy who delivered the post isn't.
Right.
And that's what
yeah, but
their
David,
goal was to be.
immortality implies that you are forever
Right. And that's not
remembered,
happening.
like
Right.
because in fact
I will
it's not
rephrase
real.
that by saying
Immortality is not.
partial immortality, then,
There's no
until the
partial
building
Yeah,
immortality.
gets.
It's either
yeah,
you're immortal or
it's
you're not.
yeah.
It's going to be immortal. Frankenstein and Dracula will be 50 million years from now. They'll still be making and reading the classics.
True.
The
Well, I will
classics
be.
are immortal. So if I'm a writer, my goal would be, if I was a writer, my goal would be to make a classic that's immortal. So you get, like, as silly as it sounds, Winnie the Pooh. I don't know if they do Dr. Seuss anymore because they say he's whatever he was. I liked Dr. Seuss when I was a kid. It's still around. But Frankenstein and Dracula, until they say you can't do those because they're, prejudiced against people with, with deaf disabilities. I don't know. But anyway, my point is that those are cool things to me. So if I was a writer, my thing would be, I want to have an immortal book that millions of years from now, people are going to go, wow, still stands up to the test of time.
Yeah, the Bible. There you go. That's some people.
Yeah, but
consider that to
who
be-
wrote it?
Yeah,
Who wrote it?
doesn't that's
Yeah.
that's I'm not talking that book, because that
Oh,
book.
you take the
affects
religious
many
books
people.
out of it, then. Take religious books
Well,
out
not
of the
really.
argument.
Here's the problem I have with religious books. depending on what your faith is, whether you're a Jew or Muslim or a Christian or the dog collar people or any of the other stuff, the problem is that it's just a fabrication of the Babylonian and Mesopotamian stories that came from another place, that came from another place. So it's a retelling of a tale, and I'm okay with that to an extent. But to me, it's not something that.
But you're looking to produce a work then.
I work that I go like, if you look at, I could say so and so wrote Winnie the Pooh, so and so wrote Green Eggs and Ham, if you will. So and so wrote Frankenstein. So and so wrote For Who the Bell Tolls. So Stephen would like to.
So Stephen would like to write something.
No, I cannot. Okay. We all know that I'm not writing anything because.
Okay, can I say as a creator about that?
Yeah, you are a creator. Yeah.
But my goal
creativity has made you immortal because it will be there.
No, I don't. Look, I associate immortality with ego. And ego is something that I don't really accept. I think it's a foolish idea that we have. Why we have it? Because it's a very, very strong survival tool. It's the strongest survival tool. You need to have ego to survive. I mean, I need to survive. I don't know what happens with the rest, but I need to survive. And we are equipped with this from nature. Because nature wants us to survive, to reproduce and continue and continue. So nature has got a plan. Nature has got a life goal. This is real life
nature has
goal.
A goal. Correct, right,
and I believe that nature is using us. We are servants to nature. And I'm not doing I didn't choose to do art. I was chosen to do art. I really tell you this. It was not about for me to being famous, my name somewhere. I don't give a shit about that. I told you before that it comes with a price which I don't want to pay because sometimes it's a burden and I don't like it. So my goal when I create is to do what nature wants from me. And nature wants from me to express what I was given by nature. I mean, the intelligence, the intuition, everything that we've got, all of us. But we during our lifetime, we advance them. We learn new things, we go on. And we have better tools, for example, with the art, to express ideas, to express our experiences, because this is what we have, experience. We don't have anything else. We have only experience. Only experiences exist, in my point of view. And those experiences are not here to serve you. It's the life that we have. It's not about us. It's not about Adam Martinakis, Stephen, David, Trump, Biden. Biden is also egocentric, very egocentric. Says, no, I'm not going down.
Right.
Why? It's the other guy also, Trump also. It's the ego that they don't understand that nature, the whole total, let's call it nature, God, nirvana, whatever point of view you take. But there is something like that because we are into it. Everybody is into it. And everything that we see, there is a distinction between me and the outside. Like for me, the outside environment and you are the outside. And the same happens to you and to everybody. That there's the me. But when you build everything on you, it's like believing, oh, my life is about me. What the fuck? It's like an ant that we see them. It suddenly says, oh, this fucking life is about me. I'm gonna become and rule the world.
Right.
I mean, look, zoom out, guys. We are in a planet. If you take a look on this planet from moon, everybody is fucking the same.
Yeah,
I mean, we don't see, we just see a planet. And if you go out of the galaxy, we see a galaxy. We don't even see the sun. We don't even see any. You see a galaxy. If you go even out, you understand. And we are not only part of it, we are it. We are it. And we're going to be it. We're going to be it even more when we die. I tell this. Guys, everybody's gonna, I don't know how I know it. It's just my intuition. When you're gonna die, all of us, you're gonna be more alive than ever before. Your ego death is the ego dissolution. Your body is a vehicle, your car.
Right.
It's your car. And lately, you know what I'm thinking a lot about it? It's that life is a kind of a dream inside a bigger mind. Like when we go to sleep, like I had a dream yesterday, right? And this dream was about, I don't remember much, but there is always, you're an altar, you're a
Right.
protagonist of your dream, but there's also, other people going on, talking to you, and the environment. I saw some buildings, we were with other people, we were going somewhere to sleep, and somebody told me something, and I had to go somewhere. Where was it, all of it? In my head. My mind created me as an altar, everything around, and there was a story inside. And lately I'm thinking about it, that life is more of a dream, well, what we're experiencing right now, because most of the times you don't realize that it's a dream, but sometimes I had the experience, very few times, that it is a dream, that like I have a knowledge of, oh, this is a dream, and then suddenly the dream does not have the same meaning as it has when you don't know that it is a dream.
Right.
So in a way, the mind creates like those worlds that we're living without wanting to know, without the metacognition, the intelligence to know that it is a dream, because suddenly the dream becomes not as meaningful as it is, because you don't live it in the same way, you don't experience it the same way. I mean, the dream. So I think the same happens here. When everybody, when it's going to die, is going to wake up. And I don't know, there was a film about it, Nolan, you remember the film, what's the name? Very, very famous. There was a dream inside a dream.
Oh, Inception.
Inception. The idea of it is really, really deep. If you, because it's associated with what I say. This guy is really onto something in general. If you see other films of him also, he's really, I think he's really a very great artist. And look, now I was saying about me that I don't give a fuck about recognition and stuff like that. But I think also Nolan does the same. He wants to express those ideas that he has, and the intuition tells him, I think this is the truth. And the truth is beyond you, me, and everybody. It's the truth. I mean, it involves everybody, everything. The total sum of aliens that may be somewhere there, which might be super advanced, and other creatures which might be just amoebas. I don't know, bacteria.
Like we are. We're the amoebas of the universe.
We're not, because we have amoebas.
Yeah, we're the amoebas of the universe. Trust me, I know. I had dinner with them last night.
From the point of view of the universe, I think that the universe creates everything. Everything has the same potential for them.
But that goes back to the CIA's Gateway Project and talking about the absolute, where everything is energy and everything goes back to the absolute upon its.
No, it's not. I don't agree with everything. Energy is also a tool. It's something that we can measure. There is something that it's outside of our measurement, outside of science. Right. I mean, I don't like people, atheists or materialists, saying, show me the proof of God. And I tell them, look, science has limits. Like humans have limits, because science is a product of humans. Of course, when we talk about mathematics is a language which somehow it's based on archetypes which are really true. I mean, how come humans have created such a language which applies like almost to everything? So it's kind of beyond space and time.
Not really.
So it scratches the eternal. Eternal is not the same as forever. Forever is like all the time that exists, but eternal is beyond time. So what the famous thing that you were saying, David, that the legacy that they want to leave, or the immortal, they're speaking about being in the flow of time. Remember,
in the moment,
like
they want to be in the moment.
But I'm speaking about something even deeper, even higher, that we have got inside. We've got those inside, everybody.
Yeah,
but we don't realize it. We don't.
It's above my pay grade, that one. I
Sorry?
mean, you can disappear up your own indifference trying to work that one out. So
we should discuss that next week, because time is up, gentlemen. It's time for us to go. So thank you for everybody for watching. Don't forget, we'll rebroadcast the show tomorrow if you missed it. You can also catch it wherever you get your podcast. We want to thank our sponsors, whatever they're called. The link is below. I forget their name. Thank you, Sound Beats, and their headset space. And Adam, it's always good to see you, my friend. And we'll see everybody next week live on Monday and rebroadcasting on Tuesday. Don't forget to subscribe and like, everybody. Cheers.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.